What's happening, everybody? Marc here, and I'm feeling a little emotional right now, considering that one of my favorite TV shows of all time just came to an end. And that show is Phineas and Ferb, one of Disney's best shows to come out over the last few years. Phineas and Ferb is one of my favorite TV shows, and with good reason. It's filled to the brim with lots of inventive episodes, funny moments, memorable characters, fun songs, just about everything a great cartoon needs to have. And this video is basically me giving my overall thoughts on the show, including a little mini review of the series finale, The Last Day of Summer. But before I talk about the finale and my overall thoughts on the show, in honor of a certain evil scientist, let's give a little backstory, shall we? The show is about the adventures of stepbrothers Phineas Flynn and Ferb Fletcher, who live in the town of Danville in the tri-state area. Phineas and Ferb make an effort to do something fun and exciting every day during their summer vacation, which is 104 days to be exact. Their older sister Candace is usually annoyed by what they do and tries to get them in trouble with their parents, but is never successful. Meanwhile, the boys have a pet platypus named Perry, who is actually a secret agent who always battles the evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz. The show was created by Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh. It started in August 2007. It ran for 7 years, spanning 4 seasons and 222 episodes. Povenmire and Marsh were both veteran animators by the time they created the show, having each worked on beloved cartoons like The Simpsons, Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, Family Guy, and SpongeBob. In fact, if you're an old school SpongeBob fan like me, Povenmire worked on episodes like Sandy SpongeBob and the Worm, Graveyard Shift, and the camping episodes, so we have good old Dan to thank for this.
Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. Our CAMPFIRESONG song. And if you don't think that we can sing it faster, then you're wrong. But it'll help if you just sing along.
Bum, bum.
Memories. Now let me tell you, everything about this show really struck a chord with me. First off is the writing. This show has some of the best writing for a cartoon show I've ever seen. It did one of the rare things that most kids' cartoons didn't do a lot at that point. It appealed to both kids and adults. It has a lot of jokes that kids would like that are pretty funny, and jokes that adults would appreciate, including all its pop culture references. It's also filled with great characters, not just the main leads, Phineas, Ferb, Candace, and Perry, but also its many supporting characters like Isabella, Buford, Baljeet, Stacy, Major Monogram, Perry's boss, and of course, Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, a character that Dan himself voices. Not to mention the show has had lots and lots of great guest stars, including people like Evander Holyfield, Allison Janney, J.K. Simmons, Billy Ray Cyrus, Barry Bostwick, Steve Zahn, Malcolm McDowell, Tim Curry, Jennifer and Joel Grey, Geraldo Rivera, Cloris Leachman, Ben Stiller, Shaka Khan, Clay Aiken, Kevin Smith, Seth MacFarlane, Lorenzo Lamas, Jane Lynch, Tina Fey, Joan Cusack, Joel McHale, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer, Michael J. Fox, Kelly Clarkson, George Takei, Christian Slater, Ray Liotta, Gordon Ramsay, Michael Douglas, and many more. Top that, SpongeBob. Not gonna lie, I'm really gonna miss Phineas and Ferb. In terms of how good it is, I think it's just as well put together as shows like Animaniacs, and some of the classic Disney afternoon shows like DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, and Tailspin, in terms of smart and inventive writing, great characters, a fun sense of humor, a positive vibe, just an overall sense of creativity that a lot of cartoons were lacking when it first started. Here's my thoughts on the finale, The Last Day of Summer. Thanks to Dr. Doofenshmirtz's latest invention, the Do-Overinator, and Candace's determination to bust her brothers, the boys' summer ends by way of Groundhog Day, where their last day keeps repeating over and over again. The episode for the first half focuses mainly on Candace and Doofenshmirtz trying to achieve what they both have been wanting for the entire summer. For Candace, it's busting her brothers. And for Doofenshmirtz, it's ruling the tri-state area. But both come at a cost, with Phineas and Ferb being erased from existence and Doofenshmirtz's daughter Vanessa leaving him for her own life. Just like Phineas and Ferb's other adventures, this last one is filled with everything that made the show so great to begin with. Wonderful writing, well-written jokes and gags, great characters, great animation, fun songs, and great voice acting, especially from Ashley Tisdale's Candace and co-creator of Povenmire's Dr. Doofenshmirtz. It's got something for both kids and adults of all ages. It's really fun, surprisingly emotional, especially toward the last 10 minutes. Overall, a fantastic send-off to one of the best cartoon shows of the last 15 years, and one of Disney's best cartoon shows of all time. Not a lot of cartoons have series finales or proper send-offs, and I'm glad that Phineas and Ferb is one of the exceptions. So with all that said, why is the show coming to an end? In an interview with the Huffington Post, Povenmire said, "Look, without naming any names here, we all know that there have been TV shows that have overstayed their welcome, who did themselves a real disservice by hanging in there a season or 3 too long. And we just didn't want that to be the case with Phineas and Ferb. They wanted to go out strong, to leave while the going's good, to end it while people were still fond of the show and the characters. And that's something that I can absolutely stand by. It's kind of like that line from The Dark Knight, you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain." But on the bright side, Povenmire and Marsh's next show, Mikey Murphy's Law, has already been greenlit by Disney, and it's going to start sometime in 2017. So that's something to look forward to. So just to wrap things up, to Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh, and to all the writers, animators, storyboarders, cast crew, pretty much everyone that has ever worked on the show, I say thank you very much for making such a great show that'll definitely live on in people's memories for years and years to come. Those 104 days of summer were one for the books, and we the fans were glad to be along for the ride. So what do you think of Phineas and Ferb? What's your favorite episode? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, if you like what you saw here, feel free to press that like button, share this with your friends, and hey, subscribe if you want. But until next time, I'm Marc, and I'll see you guys later.
Anyone want some pie?
Yes, we do.
It's just about the time we spent together. It's just about the time we spent together with you.
Subscribe!